Rendering plays a major role in any project pipeline in design and execution. Architects and designers rely on it to verify and to iterate through different design ideas. Clients need to visualize the end product, and contractors use it as a benchmark for the construction process. Let us briefly lay down the three components to make good renders. Number one, quality. Quality in rendering is a vague term that everyone tosses around. In this context, quality is the use of high-end assets, attention to details, and the use of performant machines. So it is in the models we build, in the textures we use, and in the computations that we allow for the simulation. Fabric folds, small joints, realistic grass, high-end normal and displacement maps, and enough computation power to all of this. Quality by itself is not enough to make a good render. Number two is rendering styles. Quality is where the 3D technical knowledge ends, and rendering styles is where real photography skills kick in. We are not referring to styles in a design sense, but in a photographic approach. So we will narrow it down to three main styles. Number one, real estate shots. Number two, architecture shots. And number three, cinematic shots. Each of these styles has a different way to look at the spaces and how they capture the viewer's attention and emotions. Real estate renders are wide-angled views trying to capture as much information as possible in one image. Most of the surfaces are evenly lit. It follows the same rules of real estate photography. Architectural shots. Architectural renders are focused on how the design looks. It has much less distortion and more attention to details. These renders are more relatable to how we actually experience the space and has more appreciation for the design thinking that went into the project. Cinematic shots. Cinematography is not widely used in the industry and few studios perfect it. It follows the rules of environmental art in movies and AAA games. The colors are heavily graded and the architecture is a context for a story. If your design has a story and your architecture is backdrop for it, then you should consider the style. Number three, art and design fundamentals. Quality and rendering styles are foundational to create a good image. However, even when perfected, they are not enough to create a good render. Art fundamentals and design principles play a major role on the path of the perfect image. As architects and designers, we have to only consider two main categories: composition and color theory. Composition has known rules and a goal to capture the viewer's attention to keep them interested in the subject that you are presenting. Items in the pictures are not staged randomly. There are leading lines to allow the viewer's eye to travel from one point to another by design. Color theory. We see the world through the reflection of light waves, each carrying a different color. Color is a construct of value, or how bright or dark the color is. Hue, or the color tint, such as blue, red, or green. And finally, saturation, or how strong or dull the color is, or technically how close or far away the color is from the gray zone. With that, it is important to understand how light temperature moves colors on the color wheel and how the gray colors can change depending on the neighboring colors. Blue is naturally darker than yellow, for example. This means that colors have different values, and that play of values inherited in colors create different contrasting points in the image. High points of contrast capture more attention. Low contrast can accommodate more details but has a risk to look dull. Strong saturated colors can't coexist in most cases, and color relatively is something understood and mastered by all the great artists throughout art history. We have covered a lot of points here, and to wrap things up, just remember the three rules of architecture rendering: good quality assets and high-resolution images, proper style selection that better fits your project narrative, knowledge in art and photography principles and fundamentals. If you have found the video useful, we recommend that you watch this one as well. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.